many of you have ever heard of the word feminism? Okay, so all of you. The textbook definition of feminism is the social, political, and economic equality for both men and women. How many of you have ever heard of the word feminazi? Okay, so significantly less of you. A feminazi is a particularly degrading term used in the media and some people to describe feminism and feminists. I am a feminazi, but would it surprise you that I'm not a bra-burning, anti-shaving man-hater that I'm made out to be? I have my own definition of feminism, which is equality, no matter who you are or where you come from. But everybody's definition of feminism is different, so long as the core belief is equality. You can change your definition to better yourself and your community, and to ultimately change your personality, yourself, your community, and eventually the world. And so many people have done that, but it's often confused with misandry. Misandry is the belief that women are better than men, while misogyny is the belief that men are better than women. So is the reason it's often confused with misandry because all the influential leaders were women, like Susan B. Anthony and Gloria Steinem? But that's not true, because there are men feminists, like my dad and President Barack Obama. And the person who coined the term feminism in the 1800s was a man named Charles Fourier. So feminism with its male audience isn't such a new age thing, since Charles Fourier was a feminist. But feminism is both an old and a new age thing. It has been helping to work and create awareness for issues such as maternity leave, political rights, rape care centers, and much, much more. And it's expanding to encompass all of our 21st century needs, such as gender stereotyping, wage gap, and heck, even still voting rights in some places. With the passing of Title VII in 1974, it allowed co-ed sports and co-ed schools. And this has been great because now I can run on my co-ed co-ed track and cross-country teams. And with my cross-country team back in the fall, we went to the championships and we all did pretty well. And I love my cross-country and track teams. And while I'm not on a co-ed soccer team, I can still play and represent my school in soccer. And I love soccer for my school. And if this hadn't changed due to feminism, it would seriously affect my mental health, my schoolwork, and my social life, and my grades. And I'm so grateful that I have the right as a young woman to play and represent my school in sports. However, my great-grandmother did not have the right to hold her own bank account. But now, thanks to feminism, she can do that now, and she can hold her own bank account and make major purchases. But if this hadn't changed due to feminism, how would she have held a stable access to money, or held her own banking, or made major purchases, since her husband died about 20 years ago, and both of her children were women? Same thing with my grandmother, who's in the picture. She's her daughter. She divorced her husband many, many years ago. But if this hadn't changed due to feminism, how would she have been able to make money and keep it in a safe place and buy a house, buy a car? Thanks to feminism in the United States, this issue has been solved, but it still hasn't been solved worldwide. So during the election, I saw a poll, or more specifically a map, displaying if women couldn't vote in America. And as you can see, the whole map is basically filled for this one candidate. And this sparked a trending Twitter hashtag called hashtag repeal the 19th, where people were saying, we should just take away the 19th Amendment, which allows women to have the right to vote, so my candidate will win. Yeah, and what shocked me by this was that I wasn't shocked by this. As a feminazi, I was not shocked by this. And it got me thinking, is this the everyday sexism that I experience in my everyday life? Yeah, It is. And I didn't do anything about it, partly because I'm 13 and don't own a Twitter because of my parents and internet restrictions. But in my mind, I wasn't doing anything about it either. And this was the moment that I realized that I've been influenced so much into believing that A, this sexism has gone away in my society, and B, even if it hasn't, it's perfectly fine. And it's not. The media has influenced us so much into believing that men need to be hyper-masculine and on steroids with 5 wives devoid of any emotion to be happy. And they tell us that women need to be 5'10" and half an inch with a 16-inch waist and perfect long flowing blonde hair to be happy. And that's not everybody. That's 1%, if not less than 1%, of the entire population. And it still affects everybody's body image. Heck, it's affected my body image in a negative way. Because I mean, I'm 5 feet and healthy for my weight and my height, but I'm not the most cookie cutter for the media. And it's a big issue that nobody is seeming to solve, and it's been going on for centuries. But this is just one example of inequality that feminists are fighting. So let's take a break for a second. Remember back to school when your arms were full of books and you're trying to make it to your class in 2 minutes and you thought, I can do it? How many of you were that person? Okay, so half of you. Maybe it takes a while to remember back to school. So, how many of you said thank you? Okay, so about 5 people. I try to say thank you to every person who holds the door open for me, because I wouldn't be making it to half my classes without them. But I can guarantee you they don't hold the door open for a pat on the back and a thank you, while it might make them smile. No, they do it because they want to give you the right and opportunity to pass through an open door and the privilege of getting to your classes on time. And while maybe you can't hold the door open yourself because maybe you're always late, you can still walk through it and recognize that somebody is holding the door open for you, and you should be grateful for them. And this is a perfect metaphor for feminism, because feminists are still working, and they're holding the door open, and they have been for thousands of years. But it's just as important for somebody to walk through the door that feminists have been holding open, because they can't hold the door open if there's nobody to walk through it. So it takes as much to acknowledge that somebody has been holding the door open as it does for somebody to take that and hold the door open for you. I am not a feminist, though, for a pat on the back, thank you, do it again tomorrow. I'm a feminist because I want equality, and I want to be equal to everybody else, and I want everybody else to be equal to me. And if you believe in some sort of equality, congratulations, you're a feminist. Go hold the door open. Because equality is feminism, and feminism is equality. So I challenge you to think of your own definition of feminism and how feminism has helped you in your everyday life.